People think power means control. They think it means being in charge, having authority, calling the shots. But Machiavelli understood something darker. Control is an illusion. If people can predict you, because the second they can read you, you're no longer dangerous. You're just another open book waiting to be used. Mystery, that's where real leverage begins. The unknown terrifies people. It pulls at their instincts. It keeps them guessing, and guessing people make mistakes. Power isn't about being the loudest. It's about being the hardest to read. Because once they can't define you, they start projecting their own fears, desires, and insecurities onto you. They build myths around your silence, and myths are more powerful than facts. That's the secret Machiavelli knew. The less they know, the more they imagine. And the more they imagine, the more control you have. You don't dominate people by shouting. You dominate by leaving them uncertain. Predictability is death. Oversharing kills power faster than weakness ever could. Every time you explain yourself, justify yourself, or post every detail of your life, you're giving people ammunition. Machiavelli would call that voluntary exposure. And exposure is vulnerability disguised as openness. People who talk too much become easy to play. You can map their desires, their limits, their fears, everything. And once someone can map you, you've already lost your edge. Because power isn't about strength, it's about mystery. It's about staying unreadable long enough to stay untouchable. You ever notice the quiet ones always make people uneasy? It's because silence is power. Stillness makes people confront their own noise. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must learn to deceive like the fox and strike like the lion, not just to survive, but to dominate perception itself. He wasn't saying you should lie. He was saying, control what they see. Smile when they expect you to break. Agree when they expect defiance. Disappear when they expect confrontation. That confusion? That's control. You don't need to be understood. You need to be felt. Unpredictable, calm, strategic. That's how kings stay kings. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Machiavelli knew it. The image always matters more than the truth. So learn to master appearances. Let people underestimate you. Let them think they have you figured out. Then move in silence while they're still trying to predict your next step. Because in a world addicted to noise, silence becomes intimidating. When you say less, people overthink more. They start wondering what you meant, how you feel, what you'll do next. They spiral, and you remain composed. Mystery is psychological warfare. It keeps everyone else emotionally off balance. You don't have to be cruel to be Machiavellian. You just have to be aware. Aware of what you reveal. Aware of what you hide. Aware of how your silence shifts the balance in a room. Control is not about domination. It's about influence. It's about being 3 steps ahead, not because you know everything, but because they don't. Here's the truth. You don't owe anyone full access to your mind. You don't owe them explanations, feelings, or clarity. The moment you start explaining yourself to everyone, you lose the mystique that makes them listen. You don't have to be rude. You just have to be silent. And silence isn't emptiness. It's discipline. Powerful people are selective with their words because they understand something simple. Every word you speak is a piece of leverage you give away. Mystery is emotional leverage. The less they know, the more they wonder. The more they wonder, the more power you hold. In a world where everyone is oversharing their thoughts, feelings, and pain, being unreadable becomes magnetic. Detachment becomes dominance. Calm becomes control. Every unanswered question pulls people in deeper. Every quiet pause keeps them addicted to your mystery. That's the paradox. You become most influential when you stop trying to be understood. So here's the Machiavellian code. Speak less than you think. Reveal less than you feel. And move only when the timing benefits you. Let people fill the silence with their assumptions. Then use those assumptions as tools, because when you control what they don't know, you control what they think they know. Power doesn't live in dominance, it lives in perception. And perception is crafted, not given. If people can't predict you, they can't prepare for you. If they can't prepare for you, they can't stop you. Be the person who always leaves others guessing, not out of fear, but out of strategy. Because mystery isn't distance, it's power disguised as calm. And in a world that worships transparency, the unreadable one rules them all.